All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 828 on this beautiful Wednesday evening. We got a good one for you tonight as we bring it in the holiday. We're going to give you some free content. That's right, free content Wednesday. Tonight, we're going to go over, what are we going over, Brandy?
Margin.
It's going to be a marginally great time.
It's going to be more than marginal.
See what it did there?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're so happy to be here because, yeah, the content tonight is going to be, it's on all the exams, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Margins is one of those things that you find in the real world. You hear about margin accounts. You hear about it in the movies, right? You hear about it on TV. You hear about it all the time. You're like, what is a margin? What's on margin? Why is it margin?
Mm-hmm.
Do they write in the margin? They used to. Anyhow, we're going to talk about it, and you're going to get some free content. Remember, this is our 30 minutes of free. We do have these topics and much more, in a lot more. And if you like this particular topic and you wish there was more detail on it, guess what? We got that for you. We got it in our members area. But what I wanted to say first is that, guys, I know that there's a lot of people who struggle for the first time and maybe their entire learning and educational career with failure.
Yes.
And they just don't understand why everything else has come easy to them, right?
Right.
We've heard it many times. I've never struggled so much in my life on an exam. I've always gotten A's on my exam. I've always passed. I went through college and I studied this way and I got all my degrees. I became a doctor this way. Guys, we've had people that are doctors and they've struggled.
Yeah.
And they had to humble themselves and learn a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you this right now. So what? So what? So what? That is the hardest part of this studying sometimes for people is their own dang ego. They have a hard time accepting that sometimes that we give our best, it just doesn't measure up. It happens.
Yes.
It happens all the time. It happens for athletes,
Mm-hmm.
right? You watch your favorite teams. You don't think those guys don't try? Or those gals, right? Women. You don't think they can try? They don't try? You don't think they trained, some of them, their whole entire lives? Like you watch Olympics, right? And you see some of these athletes, they literally, that's their whole life is training for these things, right? Whatever event they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Training through injury, through holidays, through get-togethers, through everything. Their whole entire life. And then to have one event where they stumble, they fall short, they don't score enough, they didn't have their best night, they all of a sudden got sick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine 4 years training and you're knocked out by a cold? A fever takes you out, you know what I mean? Can you imagine that one moment? Guys, it happens in this too. It happens in this too. You could be studying for so long, or you put all your effort in the last 3 weeks, or however long, or whatever you did. You know, you made your note cards. You never liked making note cards. You gave up on this. You sacrificed that. And you go to the exam, and it's just not there. It happens. So what? So what? You ever heard that expression? You win some, you lose some?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It happens. That's why I don't guarantee anything. Like people guarantee passes on their exams when you do their I guarantee that if you do this, it's a guarantee, or you score this on an exam, it's a guarantee. I don't guarantee anything. How can you guarantee that?
I'm like, I guarantee if you keep trying, you're going to get it.
Okay, that's true.
That's
true.
not what they mean, guys.
But that's not what they mean.
No.
That's not what they mean. That's not what they're marketing. That's not what they're selling you.
No.
Right? I guarantee you, even people in your office will guarantee it. I guarantee if you do it my way.
Well, this is what I did.
This is what I did.
That's what I did.
I guarantee you're going to win. That's not always the truth. It will get you close.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get you in the door.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get you in the same room. And sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes it's all we need is to get close enough. Because you know why? If you get close enough, if you don't get it that time in, you will the next. But it's all a matter of your attitude and how you look at it. Just because you lose a game, just because you fall, just because you got sick, just because it wasn't there when you walked into the exam room, just because you missed it by 1 or you missed it by 5 or you missed it by 10, I don't know. That don't mean jack. The only time you really fail any of these exams is when you fail to attempt again, when you fail to try again, when you fail to get up again, when you fail and you just don't want to do it, whatever it is. That's when you fail at something. I had people who just literally would not give up and they passed this thing and they realized, you know what, I don't even want to do this industry. I just wasn't going to let this thing knock me down. Like I was going to conquer this and that was it. Like I was going to whoop its butt and I'm going to go out on that high. And I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not the test that knocked me out. It's just, I don't want to do this anymore, but this challenge is not going to be the reason.
Right.
Because it's a defining moment. It's more than an exam. It's how you define yourself and how you complete things, how you commit to something, how you decide, how you discipline yourself. That truly is the win. Not what it says on the certificate, not the fact that you get it. It's what the process brings you, what you gain from the process. So many times people miss out on the fact of what they get or what they're blessed with by being able to do this challenge or being able to do this process or being able to rise to the occasion and see something out and persist long enough to get to it. Perseverance, you can never, ever discredit perseverance. If you can persevere, you can do anything. If you have that attitude that no matter what, I'm going to adapt, I'm going to adjust, and I'm going to overcome, even when the odds are stacked against you, you can't stop a person like that. You cannot. That's mental toughness. And to make it, you got to be mentally tough in anything, life, or you settle. You know what I mean? And I like to think that the people who choose to be on here are those people who are mentally tough, who've made a choice, they made a decision, they've given up their evening or their morning because they're watching on replay, however they do it. But you know who I'm talking to. It's not the pretenders. It's the real deal people. And if you're not that person yet and you want to be, it starts right now. It doesn't start on 2024. It doesn't start, when we start January 8th with our academy. It doesn't start all of a sudden. It's a burning fire that you get and you just like a fire that you're trying to start and you just throw a little bit more kindling. You throw a little bit more oxygen to it and it starts to burn. You can't just have a flame. You got to nurture it. You got to take it from an amber to a roaring bonfire, to a roaring flame. But once you get it going, there's no stopping it. And that's an awesome feeling. So I encourage you guys, as we go into these holidays, and I've said it many a times, you got to keep the momentum going. You got to persevere. You got to keep that mental toughness, right? And I know a lot of you probably are going through a lot. Maybe you're missing somebody this holiday, right? And if you guys know me, you know that I lost my son, a couple of years ago. It hurts, right? Those memories, those things, those special moments that you once had, right? Some of us have a lot of that in our life. But you got to keep that positive momentum. You are still here. You have that chance to fulfill something greater that only others wish they had. What are we doing with it? Be blessed. No matter what you feel that you don't have, or how many times you get knocked down, or if you're failing at something, or it's not easy at something, count the blessing that it is that you have the opportunity that others wish they had. That's a win. Don't take it for granted. Don't stop, and don't give up. I know it's said in like, I don't know, a million memes on Instagram, right? And social media, it's on t-shirts, it's on bumper stickers. And some of you, it's a cool thing to post. But for some of us, it's a way of life. Embrace that. Go for it. And if you're not there yet, start putting air into that flame. Start putting a little air into that amber, right? Start putting a little bit more kindling. Get that fire going. It'll get there. Everything big starts off small. Everything is a process. Everything. And there is going to be some failure. That's what makes the success so much better. That's what makes the win so much better. That's what makes the pass notice so much better. Because you're able to stand up and say, you know what? I did this, and not many can. So be excited about this. Be excited about it. And be happy that you're choosing to win right now when others are taking time off. It makes a statement. It makes a statement. I'm just saying. And just keep that going. Because I know that we're going to be off for the next, few days or whatever. We're going into, I don't want to say we're going into hibernation or vacation, because we're not. We're actually going to be rolling out Kona Academy, and we're going to be uploading and downloading and improving and getting all that situated so we can start on January 8th. So there's a lot of stuff in the background we got to do. And we're going to start giving some of that already this month as for the members that are already signed up. You guys are going to get that extra before everybody else does in January, when everybody decides to go, it's kind of like the gym, right? January 1st, everybody decides to go to the gym and they're going to be skinny, right? All of a sudden they're going to be in shape, right? There's people that already were in the gym before that, right? They're already there. That's you. You're already like, dude, I know that it's not a thing on January 1st. It's like, now. Why wait till January 1st to get in shape? That's you. So we're going to be rolling that stuff out, and we're going to be working hard. But I want you guys to know and hear what I just said. Don't stop. Don't quit. Keep going. Persevere. And if you're not with us yet, Brandy's going to put that stuff up on the screen. Join in on it. Join in with us. And we do have a whole community available. And Brandy and I will be in the backgrounds. We will be on that more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what, that's our family. That's our community. That's our city. That's where we go. And I'm proud to say that we have a lot of people on there from every walks of life, to every color, to every, creed, from every from every part of economical life, from every age, every person you could think of is on there. It's awesome. It's an awesome community in which everybody wants to just win and has a positive state of mind. You know what I mean? And if somebody says something negative, I love the fact that people on there correct them and say, hey, you're going to get it next time. Hey, that's only 5% away. Hey, just do this. Or hi, we're here to have a solution. I have a thing in my house. I call it, I don't help. This is what I tell my kids. I don't help criers. I help triers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell my kids ever since they're little. I don't help criers. Like, you're going to cry at me, I'm not helping you. You got to get up and try. Then I'll help you. Who wants to help somebody that's crying all the time? You know what I mean? You can't help somebody like that. So that's what we got over there. We got people who want to try, and we're there all the time helping them. So check it out. We're on Discord. If you, for those folks that don't know what a Discord is, it's just a platform where you can go, where you can have it's a better social media, a place where we can actually help you guys and load up videos. We got all kinds of great stuff over there. We got even where you can do like live study groups. I know we've had some people on there that they actually quiz with each other on video, right? They just do a whole session over there together. They do that. I don't do that. They meet up. They say, hey, I'm in New York. You're in California. Let's meet at 2. and then they just do a session together because they both want to pass an exam.
Mhm.
You can meet people over there like that. It's not Tinder. We ain't hooking up people like for dates. We're hooking up people who want to win.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Who want to go study. Don't get me wrong. Study guides, SIE 663. We got that all membership. Scan the QR code. You know what to do from there. Hit the free or hit the paid, right? I got my brand new phone number up, 951-290-3077. We're on Instagram. Check out the Kona Hall of Fame. To look at all the passers we got. Guys, I even put the quotes on from the passer on what they did to pass. Most people just got like a picture of them. They go, look at us, like, oh, good into our program. Look what we can do. No, I have them saying this is what worked for me. Like, I'm not selling it. They're selling what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling you. There's a whole bunch of winners over there. You can probably message them and you can ask them. I love that. I love the fact that I have that out there. Like, what do they say? We're all up on all 10 toes. Like, we're just saying it we're just saying it. We're standing up and going, hey, this is what happened. This is how they did it. I don't tell them what to say. It's awesome. Check it all out. We got that on the Instagram. We got that on Telegram. And guys, as I said, we're going into the holidays. So if you want to join in, join in. But we got this going on this Christmas weekend. Tomorrow, I just got a quick reminder. There is no member live sessions, meaning there's regular SIE in a 6 session tomorrow. That's not happening.
No.
But we will have the small group tutoring
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
And what time is that, Brandy?
It's at 10 a.m. Pacific.
10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Do the math, everybody, in your own time zone. No, I'm just kidding. That's 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Central, and then 1 p.m. in the East Coast.
Yeah.
And that is for tutoring. And you should be registered, right, for that?
No.
No.
No, because it wasn't on the calendar.
Okay.
Nobody registered for it.
No.
But I know that the usual suspects should be there.
Okay. And if you want to be there, you should reach out to Brandy on the Discord, see if she's got room for you, see if you can join in. No promises though. I don't know what that means, usual suspects, but join in. We'll just see what we can do to help. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Studying Brew live will be tomorrow though. We will be back, same bat time, same bat channel for tomorrow night for the free. We're going to be having some content. We're going to have some techniques, and then we're off to the Christmas.
Yes.
And we will be back on the 27th.
Yes.
So we'll be back for the 27th. We will have taking techniques for the members in the afternoon, and then we'll have the Studying Brew all next week.
Yes.
So it'll be like that. We'll have one live session for the members, and then we'll be having the Studying Brew. Brandy and I will be in the state of Washington. We'll be in Seattle, and we're going to literally just pick a place to sit and just do work all day.
Yeah.
With a backdrop.
We need to have our battery chargers and a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Why not? Right. And so we're just going to do working out of the house, but we just need the time to make sure that we can get all this stuff done. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and we want to make sure that we roll this thing out. And much like Disneyland, we want to make sure that, or much like not like Disneyland, we don't want to make sure that the Pirates of the Caribbean ride doesn't overheat and stop working halfway through the ride. Right. So we're going to have to just get this thing done, and we're going to have to put our heads down and work.
We don't have a second shift that comes in
No.
when we're sleeping. So
no, this is it right here. There's no virtual assistants from the Philippines or overseas to help me.
There's no virtual assistants.
There's no AI. There's no other people. It's just us.
It's just us.
It's a mom and pop situation here. Mom and pop are going to be working. That's it.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's the situation.
Yeah.
All right. So after my lengthy speech and the updates here,
Mm-hmm.
are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Let's
guys.
do this. Let's get some margins on.
Yes. And guys, the reason why we're going to talk about margins is because it is it's the most tested on the SIE in the Series 7. It's mentioned in the 6, it's mentioned in the 63, it's mentioned in the 26. You guys get it, right? And so you do have to get at least man, I don't want to say an understanding because that's not what I want, but you got to get a connection.
I would say you need to get a good idea of the concept and how the concepts work.
Yeah. So let's put it this way, right? So let's say this. When we're talking about buying stocks, we're talking about buying mutual funds, a lot of times we're assuming that somebody's just fully paying those off, right? Like you want to buy one stock for $200, here's $200 plus commission, sweet, right? You want to buy.
Okay, wait. I'll put it in another word. Let's just take it out of securities, right?
Mhm.
Let's call stocks. Let's call it candy. I'm selling candy.
Yes.
I got candy bars.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
You come into the store.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, I want to buy some candy bars,
Yes.
and I just sell you the candy bars.
Yes.
That's pretty much how stocks and bonds work, right? You go somewhere or some place or trade or buy, right? You buy for something. I don't know, right? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I want a stock, I buy stock.
Yeah.
But there's other ways you can get that candy bar. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what if I don't have any money? What if I don't have all the exact,
You mean like 50%?
yeah.
Like you only have half?
What if I only have half? What if I only have,
Well, let's think about it this way. How many of us can go into a car dealership and just drop like all the cash needed for a car or a house?
not yet,
Right?
not yet.
Not yet, right? The great majority of us can't just walk into a car dealership and buy $100,000 car and walk out and not have a car payment.
Yeah, I'm not trying to shortchange any of our students because I know there's some students of ours that actually do, that
Right.
can.
Right.
But for the majority, like, yeah, let's just say 90% of us on right now or watching this
The world. Yes.
or in the world.
Yeah.
We just don't have that kind of cheddar, right? We don't have that kind of money. We don't have that kind of cash. We just don't have those means
Mm-hmm.
to get that kind of capital and go in there and just buy a house straight out or buy a car straight out.
Right.
Like in the movies where they just show up with like a
Briefcase.
grocery bag or a briefcase.
I swear, guys, for the longest time, I thought briefcases were only used to carry cash because that's how it is in the movies.
Well, how else would you get it around?
Right? But you guys see, so there's financing, right? And there's borrowing, right? You're putting down a down payment, right? And then you're financing the rest.
I said grocery bag.
I know.
That's a special kind of circle.
Yeah. Guys, that's margins. This right here, when you're financing, this is a margin.
So basically what you're saying is like when you go to a car dealership and you don't have enough money
Mm-hmm.
and that guy walks you to the back and he's all, let's run the numbers.
Right. Listen.
Let's run the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And then they basically what they're doing is, oh, we're gonna go, let's run your credit, right? They take your social security, they run your credit, and they go, you know what? You've been good on your credit.
Right.
You can actually finance
Right.
the other part that you don't have.
Yes.
We're gonna loan you.
Right.
So what you're saying is a margin
Mm-hmm.
is a fancy way of saying like a loan.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think for some people that is the clarity that they've been needing. Like they have not been able to get that concept of what exactly a margin is. Now, how does it play into this?
So ideally, right? Let's say that you wanted to buy, I don't know, let's just say you wanted to buy $10,000 worth of stock,
Okay.
right? And we're just going to call it ABC. Okay. ABC stock. That's how much you want to buy. Okay. Now you're going to go into your dealer and you're like, man, I really want to buy $10,000 worth of stock, but I don't have that much. So what they're going to do is say, okay, cool. For your down payment, okay, your down payment or what is called a margin call, right? That's really what it's called, is a margin call.
Ooh, are you guys getting this? This is a great way to retain this.
Is that we need 50%, minimum 2,000. So we got that covered, right? Because what's half of 10,000? 5,000, right? So we got that. We got the minimum 2,000 covered, right? Okay. But then they say, but we've got some stocks over there. Did you know you can use some stocks for collateral?
I did not know that.
What?
I got
Yes.
I got some big stock over there.
Yeah. So this is like if I'm using cash,
I
right?
got this electric car guy thing that this guy has stock.
Yeah. So if you want to use stock, right, you're going to use stock as collateral, stock that you've already paid off, stock that you got just sitting there doing its thing. So if you wanted to use that as collateral, all you got to do, guys, this is how I remembered it. Just multiply that number, your down payment number, just multiply it times 2. Always, you double the cash amount. Double the cash
So what does that mean? I got to come up with $4,000 worth of stock collateral?
No. What's so let's put some numbers in there, right? So what was 50%?
Look at guys, I'm coming up with this stuff like,
Right. What's 50% of 10?
it's 5.
It's 5,000, right?
Yes.
So that's definitely over that 2,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I wanted to use stock, I need $10,000 worth of stock
Okay. Oh, instead of cash.
instead of cash. If I wanted to use that, I could either do cash or I could use stock.
So what you're saying is if I want to come up with that 50%
Mm-hmm.
of the $10,000 of stock,
Mm-hmm.
or I want to buy that $10,000 shares of stock, whatever it is over there.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have that,
Mm-hmm.
I need to come up with $10,000 worth of
Stock.
stock.
Mhm.
Basically the same amount of stock that I want to buy.
Yes. But here's the thing. I don't want you to get locked into that
Okay, that's
idea.
why I asked this.
I know. I don't want you guys to get locked into, oh, it's just the same as my total amount, because you guys might see a question that says something like this. Okay. This is a cool example.
How about instead of 10,000, we call it 100,000?
Same
That work?
concept.
Oh, it's the same thing.
But you guys, this is huge right here. This minimum 2,000 thing
Mm-hmm.
is huge. Because what if you wanted to buy 100 shares at $25 a share?
Oh, this is kind of how they ask it in those things and those questions, huh?
Yes. How much total purchase am I buying? Guys, just add 2 zeros. That's what I do. 25, like see 25, add 2 zeros, one. Okay, so 25,000.
2,500.
2,500. What is 50% of 2,500?
What is that?
Less than 2,000. Let's just call it less than 2,000. But do you guys remember this minimum 2,000 thing? Right? So I'm actually going to have to put 2,000 down.
I hope I'm resonating with people that don't like math.
Right? Just it's less than 2,000. You guys can look at that and go, half of 2,500 is definitely less than 2,000.
Hey, wait, and I'll push pause here. I know this is crazy, but I want you guys to think about this. On the exam, there's going to be multiple choice answers there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you know
Mm-hmm.
that it's going to be less than 2,000,
Mm-hmm.
and all the other options in the column or in the choices are above 2,000 except for one, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to do the math.
Nah, man.
You didn't need to do the math. It's kind of what we're saying here.
So do you guys notice I go 50% minimum 2,000? That is so easy to remember. Oh, I just need 50%. Oh, but it has to be a minimum 2,000. Okay,
Is that on everything?
there's one exception to this rule. And that's if your total, let's say your total purchase was less than 2,000. Okay, let's put it in perspective, right? If you're going to do a total purchase of, for instance, 1,500, isn't it kind of dumb to finance 2,000?
Yeah.
Or isn't it kind of dumb to put down 2,000? You're
you're overshooting it.
Yeah, your total purchase is only 1,500, right? So if it's
They don't make change.
no. So if it's less than 2,000 total,
They don't make change.
guys, just pay in full. That's all you're doing. You're just gonna pay in full.
They're not making change. You're just paying in full.
Just pay in full.
You don't. It might be on the test.
Right.
We don't know that for sure.
No, but there's plenty of examples in your Q banks.
In the Q banks that you'll see,
yeah,
you might see something that's less than 2,000.
Right.
So you need to say, I pay in full.
Pay in full, because you're not going to put down more than what you're going to pay in full. Just pay in cash.
I know it's popular now. That you can go get on Instagram. You'll see like an item, a shirt, and then it'll say like with 2 easy payments of $25, you can buy this shirt.
Yeah. No.
Oh, at 10% or 19% interest.
Yeah. Guys, if
you guys aren't doing the math on that, you need to figure out that's $50. It's actually cheaper if you just wait and pay for that thing in full instead of making easy payments on a low item.
Exactly.
It's a low item.
Yeah. So guys, real quick, if I wanted to use securities as collateral in my first example of 2,500, how much securities am I going to have to put down?
Times two.
Times two. Times two. So I'm going to put down $4,000 worth. So getting back to Andy's point, you can't just use the same amount as your total, because trust me, guys, I got myself in trouble with that in some quizzes because I'm like, oh, it's just the same as the original price. Oh, wait.
It's times two.
It's times two of the cash deposit. Okay. So if I wanted to use collateral for this $1,500 purchase, right? Like, let's say I don't have 1,500 cash and I did want to use my securities to my other securities, my XYZ to buy my ABC. How much worth of stock am I going to need to have to finance $1,500 worth?
Times two.
Times two, guys. I need $3,000 worth of stock.
It's times two.
Everything is times two.
Everything
That is
times two.
That is definitely the one thing that's constant, is the times two.
Times two on the real exam. Now, I'll tell you the wrong thing you need, the wrong thing. This is the wrong thing to do when it comes to this stuff. And I know there's somebody on here who will go, but why is it times two?
Nah.
But stop.
It's in our study guide. Why?
But you really don't need to know.
I haven't seen a need to know why. I tell you why, but I haven't really seen a need for it. Like, it hasn't been in any quiz question where it asks you, why would we have to double the collateral amount for your?
To me, it's simple. It's a business. I want double the amount just in case.
It is for the in case.
That's just me, but I would have been satisfied with that. But you know what? Let's just keep it to what's in the question. If you don't see anything that says but why, don't worry about the but why.
Right.
And that's pretty much on everything.
Yes.
If you get the answer right, and you know that's the answer, and you know it's times two, stop asking but why.
The but why, guys, if the why was important to pass the test, I would tell you. Does that make sense? Because I'm not going to fill your brains with unnecessary stuff that isn't tested. So if it's necessary for you to know, I'll tell you.
In the wild world of all the quizzes that Brandy's taken, there's no one asking but why.
Right.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know.
Exactly. So real quick, guys, we are you guys also see short margins or short sales. Short sales is when we borrow somebody else's securities to sell short. Like, if you guys ever heard like you're short ABC or you're short stock, right?
What you're saying is, we just did your scenario with the margin thing.
Yes, that's a long margin.
We just did this scenario, right? And you told me times two of securities or stock, right, to cover to finance it. Are you saying if I don't have any of those to do that, I can borrow?
No, this is completely different.
See why I ask these things, guys?
Yeah. See
why I ask these things.
This is you wanting to buy stock. This is you wanting to sell stock to take advantage of a down market. Of a going down, a declining. That's probably how I should say it. Declining. Notice I say declining because it's actually moving down. See, guys, the whole concept of stocks are buy low, sell high, but nothing out there doesn't say you can sell high first. Right? You can totally do that. If you legitimately borrow somebody else's securities through margins, you could borrow somebody's securities. They're not doing anything with them. They're just letting them ride anyways. I bought them 20 years ago. I'm still letting them ride. So as long as they sign a loan consent form, you could say, hey, yo, can I borrow their stock over there? Because I see that it's going down and I'm going to borrow their stock and I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it at $80. And the idea is I'm going to rebuy it when it's like $10. Make that profit. See? So yeah, you could do that. So just know that a short margin, You're borrowing again, because margins are borrowing, securities so you can sell high and rebuy low. By the way,
Is anybody following what you just said on how that works? Is there anybody not following that? Has everybody got that? You can visualize it. You can see it. Okay. Don't be shy. I ask the silly dumb questions all the time.
now
I don't care. I go on the record. I go on video of asking dumb questions. See?
And I'm gonna say this,
I got you guys covered.
This right here is like super advanced. This is like buying and selling options. Would you be in the market to be like short sales? Hedge funds do this type of thing, right?
This is like, not normal.
This is like hedge funds. You got
not pedestrian.
You got some money laying around that whatever. I don't care. But if I lose that money, whatever. Like you literally like this is hedge fund like boss level to do this, right? So that is our short margins. Yeah. It's kind of like that. He said in the chat, it's like getting interest off of someone else's money, kinda. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's sitting there doing nothing. Let me go ahead and sell it high. I'm hoping that the stock's gonna drop, and when it does, I will rebuy it, give it back to you, and that difference is what I make in profit. But the risk is, guys, stock doesn't go down, and you're screwed because you sold it for 80. It's all of a sudden worth 100.
I'll give you an example. Remember GameStop?
In January 2020.
Man, GameStop, there was a lot of people buying shorts. They were doing the short sale thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They shorted it because they said that they were gonna basically they seen the decline of GameStop. It was going down. We're stating that this business is no longer viable because we're shorting it. We know it's going to go down and we're going to make money off of it. So what happened was people took advantage of that and saw that happening. For whatever reason, they wanted to rebel against these people that were shorting it. They were like, no.
That's our youth. Don't let GameStop close.
Or maybe they just like, wouldn't it be fun if we just threw all kinds of investment money at this? We all invested in GameStop and we make exactly what Brandy just drew there. Make the stock price go up. That is a disaster if you have just shorted it.
Guys, this is legit what happened. It went up something like 450% in 2 days.
That is a disaster. That is a lot of money. So for instance, what was it, $10? You bought a stock at $10? Is that what you were saying?
Let's say you sold it. Let's say right here. Let's say you sold it for, I don't know, $50. Okay. Down at its lowest, it was 10. So if you were able to repurchase that stock at $10, you made a $40 profit. You sold for 50, you paid 10, you made a $40 profit.
And when they do this kind of thing, guys, it's not just $40.
It's thousands of shares.
They bought thousands of shares at $50. Sold it at thousands of shares sold at $50. Thousands.
Right. So it went up guys, at one point, it was well over $250. Now, if I needed to return my shares, right? And let's say it was $250 times, let's say 100,000 shares, I would have to pay 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma there. That's somewhat 25 million.
That is 25 million.
That you would have to pay to make good on your shorts. This is how much I would have to pay to make good on my short sales. Guys, hedge funds lost billions
overnight.
Now, the people who did a short-term gain of millions,
yes,
they pay ordinary income tax on that.
There's a cost. There's a cost to all of this, right? Because the government goes like this. Ooh, you made money. I got my hand out. Are you gonna start putting cash in it? Because
Yeah.
it's called taxes.
But guys, that's the huge risk about short sales. So short sales aren't for the faint of heart, and short sales are not your retirement. Short sales are not anything like that. But this is one of the things, the extra things, like I say that hedge funds are like the wild west of funds. You could do anything inside of a hedge fund, including these risky investments.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Does
Yep.
that sum it up? Have you guys got a good idea on that now? I hope so.
I hope so.
Look at that. Look at that. Asking all the questions, breaking it down to simplicity, tying it into like stuff that happened in real life so you can get the concept, you can understand how it goes, all for the price of your internet, the price of your time, the decision you made, the choices you made to be here. I thank you all for being here. It doesn't have to be that difficult.
Nah.
There's other ways to understand this stuff. It doesn't have to be over your head. It doesn't have to be crazy. You just got to slow down, relax, take it out of securities, and just be in the right program.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow. Remember, no live sessions for the members. We do have that group tutoring. If you do want to see if you can join in, you remember you got to be part of that tier. Or maybe Brandy's just in the Christmas mood, or maybe their space is available. I don't know the situation with that. That's not me. But you got to reach out to her on the Discord.
I'm gonna say it's got to be first come first serve, guys, because we got to keep it.
And we keep it to about 7 people max.
Yes.
So make sure that you guys reach out if you're going to do that, and see who comes, see who shows up. And if you say you're going to show up, show up. If you're not, then let us know so that way we can free it up for somebody who wanted to be there.
Exactly.
All right, everybody, back for the Studying Brew, same bat time, same bat channel, 6 exams, questions, answers, techniques, content. That's what we're going over tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's all good. So let's just stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody have a great night.
Thank you guys so much for being on. We super appreciate it. Guys, apply those keywords in your quizzes. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.